Good day and welcome to Classroom Times TV Newspaper Review. I am Deborah Hundenu. First, the headlines. Tinubu vows justice for slain soldiers in Delta. Southwest most expensive for healthy diet in Nigeria. Ekiti government raises 20-hectare hemp plantation in forest reserves. Fake doctor arrested during military hospital interview in Rivers. Housewife arrested for allegedly hiring assassins to kill husband. With me in the studio for this session is the editor of Platform Times, Dawood Olatiji. How are you today?
It's good to be here once again. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Welcome. Now the news in details. Tinubu vows justice for slain soldiers in Delta. President Bola Tinubu has vowed that the perpetrator behind the killing of Nigeria Army personnel during a peace mission in Delta State will face justice. In response to the incident, which claims the lives of at least 16 soldiers, Tinubu expressed deep sorrow and determination to ensure that those responsible are held accountable. Upon learning of the heartbreaking loss, Tinubu personally signed a statement on Sunday condemning the cowardly act and reassuring Nigerians for his commitment to justice. He authorized the defense headquarters and chief of defense staff to take decisive action against anyone found guilty of perpetrating the crime. I don't speak for the family of the bereaved, and what can you say about this?
It is unfortunate and it is sad. It was not expected, and it shows how degenerated Nigeria has been in terms of youth restiveness. It shows that Nigeria as a country has lost its degree on youth, and when you check, youth are the strong pillar of the country. And we now have youths that are not right thinking. The available information with me, I've read a lot about it. The killing of the soldiers cannot be justified. They were there on a peace mission, and then you lay ambush for them. You held them off stage, you tie their hands to the back, and then you massacre them.
They're not animals.
And these are not just soldiers. Commanding officer is like a commissioner of police. It's even more than commissioner of police. I just want to break it down. And then major. For Nigeria to train soldiers to get to that cadre is a huge amount of money. It's huge effort. But I'm afraid if the Nigerian army will not misconstrue the order given by the president, that he has given an order to begin probe. We know what happened to people in Odi, in Bayelsa State. The community that ceased to be during the era of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. They killed some soldiers, and the then president ordered the military to military operation. They leveled the community. No animal has lived there. Every human being was killed, except those who escaped. So we are afraid that Nigerian army will not repeat the same thing, because for a community or communities to kill commanding officer, 2 major officer, 1 captain, and then 13 or 12 soldiers, it's a calamity. The DHQ, like the best headquarters, will not take it lightly. And they have their way of doing things. They will not show it. They will not make noise. They do secret operation. I'm very sure that the residents of that community will know no peace. I live with them. I serve with them. I serve with H1 Division and Germany. I know their mentality. I know the community will suffer for it. But to the extent of that suffering, I don't know. The area of the calamity, I don't know. But I know that soldiers will not take it lightly. And I know that they said they have made 15 arrests. I know it will go beyond that.
Now, President said justice will be made.
Who will stop the soldiers? Because they've steered the honest net. They've thrown the stone, and they will definitely hear the voice of the owner of the house. So I'm just afraid that they will not level that community like it was done to all the people in Bayelsa State.
We hope so. Thank you. To the next story. South raised most expensive for healthy diet in Nigeria. In January 2024, the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) released data shedding light on the increasing cost of eating a healthy diet in Nigeria. The average Nigerian now spends 858 naira per day, a significant surge from the 786 light on the increasing cost of eating a healthy diet in Nigeria. The average Nigerian now spends 858 naira per day, a significant surge from the 786 reported just a month prior. Zooming on a specific state, Osun leads the pack with residents spending a staggering 119 naira on a portion of healthy food. Other south-west states, including Ondo, Ekiti, Ogun, and Lagos, closely trail behind, underscoring the financial strain faced by residents in the areas. Can 1,000 naira even, like, is it even enough for someone to feed on?
I remember that somebody challenged me on this report, being the editor. He said, what are you talking about? Are you saying that if one has 1,000 naira, you can get diet, healthy diet in Ogun State? He said, although it was not attacking platform times, because we were not the one that did it. You are working. We analyzed the effort done by MBS as the Bureau of Statistics, and then we also look at it. Like for instance, I bought a fruit this afternoon for a relative. The rate of 1,000 naira. When you say healthy is different from quantity, you should understand. Healthy diet, you know, you can eat one wrap of a pounded yam or one wrap of amala or eba, and then with soup and then one meat. And we are talking about healthy diet, not quantity. You know, in our own area here, we give priority to quantity. Show to you, quality. You know, show to you, are you satisfied? You grew up to know that are you satisfied? Not that the food is has balanced diet. But we are talking about healthy diet. Do you know that if you get gure, you can cook gure, is very, very medicinal. It does not take you 500 naira to. But when you see people eating that, they say the poor men eat it. Whereas it's not true. So when we talk about healthy diet, we are not talking about quantity. For a resident in Ogun State to eat healthy diet, you can't spend less than 1,000 naira. Now, in Ogun State, it is 1,032, and Osun is worst in the area of that expenses. But we now say, okay, for an average of a civil servant that collects a minimum wage of 30,000 naira, when you now do a kind of calculation, how many days will he use the 30,000 naira to feed himself, to survive? We calculated it. We discovered that 30,000 naira can only sustain him for 14 days. If he's only him, not him and his wife and
family.
His family. We are talking about him, a civil servant that collects minimum wage of 30,000 naira that lives in Ogun State. It will sustain him for 14 days. And excluding transport fare, excluding rents, excluding some other logistics, we also buy call cards
and data
and most. So the constitution is not palatable. That's what the statistic is telling us.
Thank you. Now to the next headline. APT government raises 20-hectare end plantation in forest reserves. The APT state government is taking decisive action against illegal activities within its forest reserves, as officers of the State Forestry Task Force set ablaze as 20-hectare India help plantation nestled within the high forest reserves. The 20-hectare Hinja hand plantation and nursery prepared for transplanting of the illegal beets destroyed in the operation. However, the Commission is also working to encourage local farmers to engage in farming activities within the forest reserve through agroforestry methods, with a focus on planting trees. Ceilings raised at the Commission's Central Nursery at Emifun in Ado-Ekiti. He highlighted the Commission's agenda, which prioritized making the state forest reserves more productive and eliminating criminal elements from these vital ecological zones. What do you have to say about this, sir?
But it is not a new story. It's not a new thing. Almost every year or every month, every time, they've been arresting people, farmers that grow all these enzyme and all these weeds. And then they also set ablaze some acres of land. It happened in Deborah not quite long. And that has been, and why? They believe that they are buyers for this. And the way that we people patronize drugs now, hard drugs now is alarming. I know in economy, the higher the demand, the higher the supply. People demand a lot for hard drugs, and because of that, they believe that they get money. People want money. People want to survive, and they don't care if what they are transact, the business they are doing can wreak havoc on the whole country. For instance, we are talking about insecurity in Nigeria. If we can clean Nigeria from these hard drugs, Nigeria can be sanitized, can be cleaned, can have a kind of free drug, Nigeria free drug Nigeria. Sincerely, insecurity will reduce, because some of the people that are perpetrating all these crimes, they will have been under the influence of these hard drugs. All these Boko Haram kidnappers, they will have, get themselves high before they do all those stuff. So, if you can find a way of getting Nigeria out of these hard drugs, a lot of young ones are now into it, because they grew up to know that they are, elder people, elder brothers and sisters, they are into it. They believe that it's good, and they are also into it. And any society that embraces hard drugs will suffer for it. That is why some of our youth today, they are more of, they are addicted to drugs. When you go to psychiatric hospital, they tell us that average, the majority of people that are there are youth, and they are from wealthy home. They are children of all these prominent personalities. So why is it so? We have to also do research. But so we should give kudos to the state government, for doing that. I want to say that is not new to us. Almost every time, many state government, when they discover the farm, they go there, they set it ablaze. But we have to now look at it. Is it enough? It's not. And we should come to think of it. This weed, like either NDM or all those stuff, can also be used for something. It is when they abuse it. There are some of these things that are very useful for a particular set of people. But people are now abusing it. Somebody told me that you can abuse Gary. You can use it. You can turn it to a drug. You can also turn paracetamol to a drug. I say you should not tell me. You should not educate me. So there is a way. And then I was also so scared when I read the story where some Nigerian youth will go to cemetery, that stage, they'll be, inhaling these things who have to get high and all this stuff. So I think we have to give kudos to existing government for this effort.
Thank you, and we hope our government will do something positive this time around. Thank you for that. Next to our story. Fake doctor arrested during military hospital interview in Rivers. A suspected quack medical practitioner, Mr. H.E. Michael, has been apprehended during an interview for the position of medical officer at the Port Harcourt Military Hospital. Mr. Michael, a graduate of Banking and Finance, Tech, has been unlawfully practicing as a medical doctor in Rivers State for over 2 years. The arrest was orchestrated by the Rivers State chapter of the Nigerian Medical Association (NMA), which had been monitoring Michael's activities closely. Dr. Hope Abunda, the secretary of the Rivers State NMA chapter, revealed that Mr. Michael's fraudulent activities came to light when he attempted to obtain an NMA ID card using forged credentials, including a fake MBBS certificate from the University of Port Harcourt 2017 and a fabricated MGCN food registration certificate. I can't call it this unemployment because he had a very good certificate with him. Why did he have to forge his Banking and Finance? That's a very good.
You want to be a doctor and you just want to be a doctor, and maybe you vowed that they're going to be a doctor, and unfortunately, people put themselves before him, allow him to open them, administer drugs. You can't count the number of people he might have treated. That kind of people might have even destroyed
for over 2 years.
And then look at that 2 years, and people will have made the recommendations, they will have injected, they will have done surgery, operating on many people, and we don't know what people will have killed. And so thank God he has been arrested. He should be dealt with. Well, to serve a deterrent to others who feel like because maybe his father is maybe his father is a herbalist or something like that, or his brother's knowledge of medicine. There are people that they have opportunity of either going in the site where there are doctors. They now send them on errand. Okay, let me hold this needle, go and clean this area. From there, they get to know, okay, if anybody is complaining headache, they are going to ask and recommend this medicine for him or her. If somebody is complaining of this, so look at, like you rightly said, he has a very good credential. Why is he? Maybe he's not satisfied. That's his greed.
But when he was forced to study
his greed. If you want to be a doctor, you will enroll into medical school now. You go to medical school and then it will be a doctor. There are a lot of schools that you can study medicine if you want to, but now not a doctor, you are not a qualified doctor. And then another thing about our people is how do we identify a quack? How do we identify a fake doctor? Are we going to say Deborah is a doctor because she wears the apron and then he puts on the what's it called? The instrument, the telescope. So because of that, anybody could wear it, anybody could have that one. What makes someone a doctor? How do we, is it because we see someone within the vicinity of hospital? Does that one make the person a doctor? These are issues. How do we identify? It's okay, those who wear these clothes. Anybody can sew any clothes. Yes. So these are issues. I need to say, before you treat me, let me see your ID card. Let me see your certificate. Where you graduate for. Somebody that is ill. We don't have the time to say, we just want to get somebody that is sick, rather. Make the panel. We don't have the time to say, are you a qualified doctor? Let me see your ID card. Nobody. We just want to get ill. So that is a serious issue. I think that is good for platform times to help us unravel that. How do we identify a fake doctor from an original doctor? Are we going to identify him or her based on what he or she wears I will identify him based on because he or she works within an hospital. How do we identify a
I'm
fake
also
doctor?
thinking something now. If our president could help us, there is need to investigate all these hospitals because there may be most of them in other hospitals taking the lives of people.
But I've raised an issue now. You can't know them. If not, they said this one according to this before my platform time. They have been on his train. They have been training him. He will have got away with murder. He will have got the job. But because they have been training him, those who are training him are the one that alerted people. There are people did not know now. They have been able to, somebody that was invited for an interview. Can they invite a journalist for an interview? They have positioned themselves as a doctor now. That's why they invite, and then for that matter, military hospital, not just military. I think I need for platform time to help us.
I just hope it won't be beaten to death. Now to the next story. Housewife arrested for allegedly hiring assassins to kill husband. The Cardinal State Police Command has apprehended the housewife accused of orchestrating a plot to eliminate her husband by hiring assassins. The incident reportedly unfolded in the serene community of Rafin Guza, situated within the Kaduna North local government area. According to sources close to the investigation, the motive behind the sinister plot stemmed from a financial dispute between the couple. The husband, in a gesture of trust, had extended a loan of 400,000 naira to his wife to invest in the business endeavor. However, tensions arose when the husband demanded repayment of the loan, only to be met with resistance from his spouse. In a bid to evade her financial obligation, the wife allegedly resorted to extreme measures by enlisting the services of a notorious gang leader known as Tola and his associates. Some people behave as if blood doesn't flow in their veins. What do you have to say about that?
It's pathetic. And I usually ask myself, how did they get there? It's somebody that sees you and say, I love you, when they were toasting each other. You can't just walk through someone and say, yeah, let me be my wife. You start from somewhere. I love you. I want you to be my partner. I can't sleep without you. So how do you now get to that another level of killing each other? The husband helped you with a loan of 400,000 naira, and he asks you, the next thing you think you could do to appreciate your husband is to send an answer. The question, I was in the car this morning when we were reviewing this story, and people are saying that okay, for the woman to hire an assassin, how much will she have paid because of 400,000 naira? Can she pay the assassin 200,000 or 400,000? If the assassin collects 200,000 naira, what is her gain? 200,000 naira. So there are issues, and it also calls for serious concern that marriages today are crashing, and then friends are becoming fools. People who love each other before have now become, they have now turning into enemies, and they pour acid on each other. They stab each other to death, domestic violence, so many. So I think there is need for stakeholders to look into it. What do they look into before the marriage is conducted? The religious body should also take note of this. The religious leaders, both Christian and Islamic leaders, they should also look at it. It is not enough that because I saw a lady and I want to marry her. What makes you? How do you determine that he really loves her? And all those stuff. When it's getting sour, when this one is getting sour, how will they stop it? Who are the people that will be checking on this couple to know whether they're having issues? There's no union that is perfect. Everybody is just tolerating each other. But to get to this extent, I think the woman has gone far. I want to say that she will have regretted now, because if they do it, he is not killed, either hanged to death, she's going to spend the rest of her
life imprisonment.
So what does it give? All her property now becomes someone else's property. The 400,000 naira she is trying to protect becomes someone else's money. So for what?
Thank you for this, and may God protect all our families and keep all the unions out there. With this, we have come to the end of the news with you on Platform Times TV. For more exclusive stories, kindly visit our website on www.platformtimes.com.ng or visit our website at Platform Times newspaper on Instagram, Platform Times Media, on Twitter, Platform Times Newspaper, and on YouTube at Platform Time TV. Thank you for staying with us. I am Deborah. Bye for now.